Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Conspiracy Corner. Tonight's episode is going to be on Operation Mockingbird. So, for those that don't know, Operation Mockingbird remains one of the most controversial and widely debated clandestine operations in the history of American journalism and intelligence. With its roots in the Cold War era, Operation Mockingbird represents a complex interplay between the intelligence community, media organizations, and a manipulation of public opinion. The origins of Operation Mockingbird can be traced back to the early years of the Cold War, when the tensions between the United States and the Soviet Union had escalated into a global struggle for ideological supremacy. Recognizing the power of information and propaganda in shaping public perception, American intelligence agencies, particularly the CIA, sought to influence the media narratives and control the flow of information, both domestically here at home and also abroad. Officially sanctioned in the early 1950s, Operation Mockingbird was conceived as a covert campaign to influence and manipulate the content of news media outlets, both print and broadcast media, to advance American interest and to counter perceived communist propaganda. Under the guise of combating subversion and promoting national security, the CIA established extensive networks of contacts within prominent media organizations, journalists, editors, and publishers being some examples of that. The tactics employed under Operation Mockingbird were diverse and multifaceted. CIA operatives and assets cultivated relationships with key figures in the media industry, providing them with exclusive access to classified information, financial incentives, and career opportunities in exchange for favorable coverage and the cooperation of the media. Journalists were often unwittingly enlisted to disseminate propaganda and advance the agenda of the intelligence community. Now, later on, it was no longer unwittingly. Okay? Later on, it became where the CIA literally implanted people into journalism to spread propaganda, and the people that were doing the news were willingly lying to the American public. And we see that today. I mean, you don't even watch the news anymore, most people, because it's complete nonsense and BS. Almost everything they're telling you is lies. One of the primary objectives of Operation Mockingbird was to shape public perceptions of key geopolitical events, things like the Cold War, the Korean War, and later the Vietnam War, by controlling the narrative presented in the media. The CIA sought to portray American policies and actions in a positive light while discrediting and undermining any and all alternative viewpoints, dissenting voices, and perceived threats to national security. And once again, this is the same as it is today. It's still happening because anybody that doesn't agree with the official narrative on any particular story is discredited, censored, and silenced, and even in some cases, jailed. The extent of the CIA's involvement in Operation Mockingbird and its impact on media integrity and journalistic ethics, honestly, remain subjects of ongoing debate and scrutiny. While some people argue that the program played a crucial role in safeguarding national security and countering communist propaganda, others condemn it as a flagrant violation of press freedom, democratic principles, and the public's right to unbiased information. And I think that it is very interesting that the stated reason for Operation Mockingbird was to counter communist propaganda. When you look at the news today, the whole point of the media is spreading communist propaganda. So they went from supposedly trying to fight against communist propaganda to being the ones who are spreading the communist propaganda and trying to destroy America. The revelations of Operation Mockingbird in the 1970s, prompted by investigations by congressional committees and the Church Committee in particular, exposed the extent of the CIA's infiltration of the media and its manipulation of public discourse. The hearings shed light on the abuses of power, the erosion of journalistic integrity, and the need for greater transparency and accountability. in the relationship between the intelligence community and the press. In the aftermath of the revelations, Operation Mockingbird became a symbol of the dangers of unchecked government power. It underscored the delicate balance between national security and the fundamental principles set forth in our Constitution of freedom of the press, uh, transparency of the government, and the accountability to the voter. As society grapples with the challenges of disinformation, media manipulation, and the influence of powerful interests on the public discourse, the lessons of Operation Mockingbird remain relevant. And they would urge vigilance and skepticism whenever you're dealing with any kind of news source. You always want to question everything. And you want to do your own research. You want to check for yourself. Because as we've seen over and over and over again, especially recently, they lie to you. And the people who tell you the truth are always the ones they go after. Look at the pandemic, for example. The media lied about that the entire time. They lied about the mask. They lied about the safe distance. They lied about the jab. They lied about all of it. The people that were telling you the truth about it were the ones that got in trouble. They were the ones that got their channel shadow banned, like this one did. They shadow banned my channel, and they did a lot of damage to my channel, where I don't get anywhere near the views I used to get. They took literally 4,000 subscribers overnight. Boom, gone. I had people messaging me left and right asking why they were unsubscribed from my channel because they didn't do it. So they absolutely did that. And I think it's because I was talking about a lot of these things that they were claiming were true that I was telling people weren't true, such as that the mask did absolutely no good because the average size of a virus is 1 micron. The average size of the weave pattern in those masks is 60 microns, which means they're not stopping anything. It's going right through it. Right? Science. Stuff like that I was talking about got me shadow banned on YouTube. And to this day, the channel doesn't perform like it used to perform because they don't send out notifications that I've even put out videos half the time. So it's definitely a struggle. But we should always do our own research and realize that a lot of times what they're telling you on the news is not true. Just because they're the news doesn't mean that they're telling you the truth. Most times they aren't. And that's easy to prove. We've done it over and over and over again. So let me know what you think down in the comments section. As always, it's up to you to make up your own mind. And please remember, Operation Mockingbird did not end. It is still in effect. It's still happening. There's a video on YouTube you can go and watch where you see literally dozens and dozens and dozens of different news channels, different programs saying the exact same words about a story. I mean, literally to the exact same words. Check that out if you get the chance. And I'll catch you on the next one. Till I speak to you again, love many, trust few, and do harm to none. God loves you, and so do I. Bye-bye.